to cover what is ostensibly one of the biggest stories in the country right now, in the United States, and that is the arrest or pending arrest of one Donald J. Trump, a former president of the United States. Literally, no former president of the U.S. has ever been arrested. Okay, not once, not a single time. Okay, there was like one sitting president who was like brought down to the station for speeding once on a horse and buggy, but like that's it. That's the extent of it, okay? So, what is happening, right? Essentially, Donald J. Trump confirmed rumors that were going around in kind of local New York politics that he was going to be arrested. Now, and this happened last week, okay? Like last week, Friday. Or possibly late Thursday. And, well, I initially heard this story and I was like, that's not going to happen. They've been telling us he's going to get arrested for years. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Right? Nothing will come of this. But then, my friends, I looked at Donald Trump's Truth Social feed, and I have never seen a man so like reaching such ungodly levels of panic, okay? I have never seen it. And we covered this briefly over the weekend on Saturday. We talked about the initial truths that he put out there, right? And we're gonna be taking a look at those initial ones again, just as a refresher. But on top of that, we're going to be looking at Donald Trump's new truths, because of course he didn't just stop after the first 3 that he made in all caps, okay? He has been full-blown panic mode all weekend. And not only has he been full-blown panic mode, it's like comical levels of panic. He's like misspelling words like sidewalk, okay? Like, he's writing in all caps. It's like literally every single thing you could think of to indicate that you are not doing okay in text form, okay? And we'll go over his meltdown because it's just objectively very funny. Yeah. At one point he spells stolen as Stalin. Like it's just incredible, right? So we're gonna be looking at that, all right, and it's gonna be lovely. Here we go. Okay. Starting out, this is going to be, by the way, a journey through Donald Trump's mindscape. This is going to be Donald Trump distilled down to his very essence, okay? And unfortunately, I can't do a very good Donald Trump impersonation. Otherwise, this would be my time to shine, okay? But this is undoubtedly just hilariously incredible, okay? Here we go. I guess I'll accept cookies from Truth Social to stop it covering half the screen. Okay. Our nation is now third world and dying. The American dream is dead. The radical left anarchists have stolen our presidential election and with it, the heart of our country. American patriots are being arrested and held in captivity like animals, while criminals and leftist thugs are allowed to roam the streets, killing and burning with no retribution. Millions are flooding through our open borders, many from prisons and mental institutions. Crime and inflation are destroying our very way of life. Page 2. Now illegal leaks from a corrupt and highly political Manhattan District Attorney's Office, which has allowed new records to be set in violent crime, whose leader is funded by George Soros, indicate that with no crime being able to be proven and based on an old and fully debunked by numerous other prosecutors fairy tale, the far and away leading Republican candidate and former President of the United States of America, that's me, will be arrested on Tuesday of next week. Protest! Take our nation back, folks! So, just on its own, those two tweets are amazing. And, like, objectively just very funny. It does get a bit scarier when you know that there are literally people in America who will live and die at this man's word. Like, if Donald Trump just came out one day and was like, "Hey, folks, I found the new cure for COVID. It's drinking arsenic and grape juice." Like half of his supporters would just immediately down it, okay? Half of his supporters would immediately down it. And you know what? You know what else, chat? Not only would they down it, but you think I'm making that up? You think I'm making that up? Do. One second. Come on. Come on, where's that news story? Where is it? Where is it? Show it to me. There was literally just a COVID influencer who died, and one of his last prescriptions for everyone to prevent themselves from getting COVID was, like, ingesting large amounts of arsenic. It already happened with bleach. That did already happen, but literally the arsenic thing, like, just happened. I can't find the news story, like, right off the top, but if any of you can find it, please let me know in chat, okay? Oh, no, yeah, here it is. I found it. Yeah. Literally, some COVID influencers, wellness influencers Emily Gellis Land and Tanya Zuckerbrot went to war. Now they're headed to court. Yeah, they're like getting sued because this, like, arsenic. Yeah, no, like these folks are like trying to get pregnant women to ingest arsenic. Like it's fucking mental. Okay. Yeah, yeah, exactly. There was also, yes, that's the guy. Peach Pitts, cyanide. I was wrong about the arsenic. It was cyanide. COVID influencer news. Cyanide. I can't find the story, god damn it. But of course, when I look up the news, all of the links go to New Jersey. God damn it. Whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. Find the things. But all I'm saying is Donald J. Trump would absolutely have, like, a fucking death cult thing going on. It's time, folks! We are a nation in steep decline, being led into World War III by a crooked politician who doesn't even know he's alive, but who is surrounded by evil and sinister. You know the kind of sinister George Soros types, don't you, folks? Who, based on their actions on defunding the police, destroying our military, open borders, no voter ID, inflation, raising taxes, and much more, can only hate on our failing USA. We just can't allow this anymore. They're killing our nation, folks, as we sit back and watch. We must save America. Protest, protest, protest. Literally, like, these three no, look, the exact quote here, because I have it up on screen. I am ad-libbing a little bit, but the exact quote is, we're being led into World War III by a crooked politician who doesn't even know he's alive, but who is surrounded by evil and sinister people who, based on their actions, blah, 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 blah. But if you put that together with his previous post about George Soros, like, it's pretty clear that he's dog whistling real hard about Jews. Oh, thank you. Ashley, you found it. Yeah. Yeah, and this ivermectin guy, Danny Lemoy, took a daily dose of veterinary-grade ivermectin. Holy shit! You aren't supposed to take animal drugs in animal doses. What the hell? Just before 7 a.m. on March 3rd, Danny Lemoy posted an update in his hugely popular pro-ivermectin Telegram group, Dirt Road Discussions. Happy Friday, all you poisonous horse paste eating survivors. Hours later, Lemoy was dead. God damn it. That shouldn't, it's terrible that someone died, but holy shit. Holy shit. Was it this one though? No? Okay. But this is still very funny. Anyway. Boom. Okay. Then, so those three tweets came within hours of each other about 2 days ago, chat. Now we move on to, day 2 of Donald Trump talking about this publicly. This time not in all caps, so he's had some time to digest the information, but he's still in a panic. You can tell because of how he's talking. Biden wants to pretend he has nothing to do with the Manhattan DA's assault on democracy, when, in fact, he has stuffed the DA's office with Department of Injustice people, including one top DOJ operative from D.C. who is actually running the horse-face witch hunt. What the fuck? Okay, I don't know what that means. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what the horse-face witch hunt means. I don't know what that means. But it's very funny. Bragg is a Soros. Man, he is practically doing the thing Nazis do when they do the triple parentheses. Bragg is a Soros. Racist in reverse. Jesus Christ. You know, George Soros out there funding reverse racism to own the conservatives. Bragg is a Soros, racist in reverse, who is taking his orders from DC. I beat them twice, doing much better the second time, and despite their disinformation campaign, they don't want to run against Trump or my great record. Now, why the fuck is he... Okay, just some questions. I have a lot of questions about the way he's talking about. Oh yeah, okay, Horseface references Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels doesn't even have a horse face. Literally does not have a horse face. Like, uh, I know he's just being petty, but it's like it's not even like an accurate petty. Like calling Meatball Ron is at least funny. This is just inaccurate. Yeah, yeah. How is that a horse face? Yeah, exactly. It doesn't even make sense. Um, but also, you'll notice that in the previous tweet, a lot of apples. Thank you for gifting with Otro a tier 1 sub. And we did it. We turned off text to speech. I'm so happy. Um, but you'll notice that also in the second truth that he sent out, he refers to himself in the third person, chat. The leading Republican candidate and former president of the United States of America will be arrested. Like that. Why is he talking? It's like he can't even admit to himself that he's going to be arrested. He can't even wrap his head around that happening. Which, you know, to be fair, has like never happened, so it's unexpected, to be sure. When Alvin Bragg first attained office, he made it very clear that, like many other prosecutors, there was no case against Donald J. Trump. Which, again, he's talking about himself in the third person, which, I don't know, chat, if you're usually used to, like, referring to yourself as, like, me or I, and then you suddenly switch to referring to yourself in the third person, to me that indicates a huge level of panic. You know? Then the Biden administration, the Democrats, and the fake news media began pushing him hard. And lo and behold, he said that there might be a case after all. I knew what that meant. He was being pushed to do something that shouldn't be done. He wasn't willing to stand up to Soros and the Marxists that are destroying our country. Yes, the Marxist Joe Biden, who during his political career actively supported busing segregation. He actively opposed integrated busing. Yeah, that Marxist Joe Biden over there. But again, notice they keep again, I don't even know if it's true if Alvin Bragg got any like donations from George Soros or a George Soros PAC or whatever. But like, even if it's true, bringing it up this many times really just seems to indicate like exactly what he's trying to dog whistle here. There was no misdemeanor here either. There was no crime, period. All other of the many Democrat law enforcement officers that looked at it, yes, the prominent number of policemen who show up at your doorstep and they're like, "Hello, sir, I'm a Democrat. I support the gays and the transes and Black Lives Matter. How can I help you today?" Anyway. Took a pass. So did Cy Vance, and so did Bragg. And then, much later, he changed his mind. Gee, I wonder why. Prosecutorial misconduct and interference with an election. Investigate. Yeah, by the way, former president of the United States, presidential candidate for 2024, calling for his political enemies to be investigated. Just holy shit. We're not even halfway done, chat. Like, he's just been going off over like the last 24 hours. And now we're back to all caps. I find it very hard to believe that a racist, Soros-backed DA... By the way, again, when he's saying racist here, he's He's saying that because Alvin Bragg is black, and Donald J. Trump is trying to say that because he is black, he's racist against white people. Soros backed the A who let murderers, rapists, and drug dealers walk free. Which, by the way, absolutely has not happened. Like, you'll notice that in a lot of the coverage that conservatives are doing of this, and like conservative politicians talking about this, they're saying things like, "Oh yeah, Alvin Bragg reduced former felonies to misdemeanors." And was seeking to reduce the amount of jail time, people were sentenced to, and like, yeah, the reason is because people don't need to go to jail for like vagrancy. People don't need to go to jail for like shoplifting, for example. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't be spending like tens of thousands of dollars every year or like to arrest and then house people for petty crimes. Yeah. In nowhere in Alvin Bragg's like work is he like saying like, well, this guy's a rapist, but that BLM Marxist agenda we got to let him go. There's no one who's like, ah, yes. This guy just did a triple homicide, but he's black, so we gotta let him go. Like that's the world that like conservatives believe exists, and it is so far divorced from reality that it's ridiculous. The only murderers and rapists in this country who walk free are the rich ones because of cash bail. Okay? And who has presided over the biggest violent crime wave in the history of New York City, which, I know I've shown the graph before, but can we just show violent crime data in New York by year? Okay. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I need to find not just the murder rate. I'm looking for a violent crime rate. Do 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 do. Here we go. Here we go. Nope, that's up until 2014. 2023. Here we go. Maybe this will solve the problem here. Maybe 2022 will get me a better result. Well, okay. We can use this as like a decent stand-in for now. This is the murder rate in New York City, okay? This is the number of murders in New York City by year. Up to 2022, I believe. You'll notice that, well, yes, there is a sharp uptick during COVID. It's not at all the biggest amount of crime in New York history. By a long shot. By a long shot, chat. Like, not even close. By the way, if you compare this to the US murder rate, by the way, you'll see that wow. Yep, that tracks. Look. Wow, in 2020, the murder rate shot up. Must have been Joe Biden. Definitely nothing else going on. Around like 2019, 2020. Also, ignore the fact that Donald Trump was president in 2020. What you're saying is vaccines cause murder. Oh god. Oh god. All right. Yeah, a lot of the data I'm finding for overall violent crime rates is, hey, White Nervosa, thank you for subscribing with your Prime sub. I appreciate that. Twitch Prime sub up and giving it to someone who keeps motivated to continue working. You deserve far more. Thank you very much, White Nervosa. And again, thank you so much for putting together this website. It is phenomenal, and I'm real glad that I'm learning the ropes and like putting this all together, because it's genuinely going to change the trajectory of my career, and I really appreciate that. Yes, everyone send love emotes to White Nervosa, okay? Okay, here we go. Is using the power of his office to persecute, indict, and prosecute a former president of the United States of America, folks. For no crime, the witch hunt never ends, but we will make America great again. And he continues, just reported that the most important witness to go before the New York City grand jury, a highly respected lawyer who once represented convicted felon, jailbird, and serious fake storyteller and liar Michael Cohen, will be doing so tomorrow afternoon. The information he will present will supposedly be conclusive and irrefutable. Witch hunt! Again, just all caps. And keep in mind, Michael Cohen is a convicted felon and jailbird because he lied under oath to protect Donald Trump. he lied under oath to protect Donald Trump. Oh god. Fuck. Yeah, he was also sentenced 3 years in federal prison, ordered to pay a $50,000 fine after pleading guilty to tax evasion and campaign finance violations. That's interesting. Kind of seems like he took those campaign finance violations. I wonder if they're coming back to bite anybody. I wonder if Michael Cohen is a little bit upset that he had to spend time in jail to protect his client from campaign finance violation convictions. I wonder. Oh no, irked. Michael Cohen, I believe, lied under oath. Yeah, no, Michael Cohen was charged with lying to Congress. Yeah. He pled guilty to that. And I believe... Yeah, no. Yeah, he lied under oath to protect Donald Trump and then had to plead guilty to the campaign finance violations to avoid even more serious jail time. Yeah. So, like, the two things are the same thing. Remember, folks, the same animals and thugs that would do this to perhaps 200 million people, but actually all Americans, are the communists, Marxist rhinos, and losers that are purposefully destroying our country. Which is just like... Holy shit. Donald Trump... in order to, like, translate this to you guys... Donald Trump believes that 200 million people directly support Donald Trump. Donald Trump believes that literally 2/3 of the population of the United States voted for him in 2020. Like, that is his firm belief. Billions and billions of votes, folks. I don't know. No, of course there are 200 million registered voters. Let's see. Can we? Yeah. How many people actually turned out to vote? Many people voted in 2020. Yeah, there were only 154.6 million people who voted in 2020. Donald Trump is literally banking on people who didn't vote for like 50 million people more. But then like you can almost see like this is just pure like Donald Trump's undistilled brain for everyone to see, because you can see the thought process here. Remember the same animals and thugs that would do this to perhaps 200 million people. He's like, well, maybe 200 million. But then he's like, immediately, but actually they're doing it to all Americans, folks. Like, he's like, they're doing it to my supporters. And, you know, I have 200 million people who support me, but, you know, they're actually doing it to all Americans. And not only that, but the communists and the Marxists and the Republicans in name only, i.e. the Republicans who don't support Donald Trump, are all banding together to, like, destroy America for no reason. It's... God, oh God, this is so fucking funny. And we're not even done yet. Can you imagine the great New York City Police Department, correctly referred to as New York City's finest, who, for the first and only time in history, endorsed a president, me, and honored me as Man of the Year, having to defend and protect the defunders and cop haters of the radical left that want to put their greatest champion and friend in prison for a crime that doesn't exist? All the while, the Soros-backed DA allows murderers and other violent criminals to freely roam the sidewalks, the sidewalks of New York. He literally misspells sidewalks. He literally misspells sidewalks. Sidewalks. Yeah, as soon C-Star. Yeah, no, this is nutso behavior. The sidewalks. You know, sometimes sometimes you wax on and sometimes you wax off. But also, like, he keeps putting things in quotes, so it looks like he's like joking about calling New York City's police department New York City's finest. It looks like he's saying, can you imagine the great New York City Police Department, correctly referred to as New York City's finest? Like, it just looks like he's fucking being trying to tell a fucking joke. It's so fucking funny. God. But then again, the Soros-backed DA stuff keeps coming on. So again, like, George Soros, a Jewish man. Again, George Soros is just like shorthand for Jewish people to these folks. Is trying to let murderers and violent criminals roam freely in New York because reasons. Moving on. Again, this is still yesterday. It's the district attorney of Manhattan who's breaking the law by using the fake and fully discredited testimony, even by SDNY, of a convicted liar, felon, and jailbird, Michael Cohen, to incredibly prosecute, and indict a former president and now leading, by far, presidential candidate for a crime that doesn't exist. Alvin Bragg should be held accountable for the crime of interference in a presidential election. Which, by the way, I think that there is a credible case for Donald Trump publicly calling for protests in response to, like, him being the subject of, like, a legal investigation. I think there is some argument to be made here that he is he is in sorry, I just started hiccuping. He is in some way obstructing justice here, especially if it turns out people turn out to try and thwart his arrest. Gamer G, you'd think so? You'd think oh god, you'd think there would be no sorry, the hiccups were getting ridiculous. So you think that Donald Trump being arrested would be bad? However, some of the polling that has been done, like last minute, has indicated that like Donald Trump's support largely has plateaued. It's at the lowest it can possibly get. And so like Donald Trump being arrested wouldn't meaningfully impact his polling numbers, and it might actually rally his base. Though I don't expect it would actually be I don't actually expect it would be good for him insofar as like getting people who are on the fence on his side, and those are kind of the people he needs for a successful 2024 run. Rather, it would just galvanize his existing super supporters into, trying to, go out there and protest or go out there and vote and volunteer and all that stuff. Okay. So that's kind of where we're at. And back to this stuff. I more meant the fact that he keeps doing unhinged rants every speech instead of his 2016 fake populist rhetoric. Well, GamerG will get to that because I actually think he had a rally recently that kind of indicates like he's still got it, at least as far as his base goes. I don't know, again, that his base is actually enough to win him an election. I would actually argue that it is not at all able to win him an election. Catalina Gearbox, thank you for subscribing on Twitch. I appreciate it. And remember, folks, if you're over on Twitch, head on over to the website. Oh, God. There we go. To support me even more over there. All your subs go twice as far over on riverboat.gg. That being said, let's continue on here because we are not done. We have so many more. Catalina Gearbox, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. I really appreciate it. Thank you so goddamn much. Here we go. China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, and other nations of a less than friendly nature are busy carving up the world as our once great United States of America sits back and watches. We are a failing nation. With open borders, fake elections, and a horrible inflation-riddled economy. We no longer set the standard. The standard sets us. Our so-called leader does nothing except eat, sleep, and shit. Where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio? Okay, someone will have to translate for me because I don't actually understand the Joe DiMaggio. I don't understand that. It's a song lyric. Where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio? What song is this from? It's from fucking Mrs. Robinson? What? It's from fucking Mrs. Robinson? What the fuck? Oh, God. What the hell? What a weird reference. What a weird-ass reference. I mean, I love Simon and Garfunkel, okay? I don't remember that lyric. Hey, Mrs. Robinson. Yeah. Okay. That's weirder than my references? Yeah. Okay, well that was... Okay, moving on. There are many years They are many years beyond. This is from today. They are many years beyond the statute of limitations, which, in this instance, is 2 years. More importantly, there was no crime. Oh, God. Oh, God. Fuck, man. This is like someone who's like, look, the statute of limitations on sexual assault is 20 years, and it is 21 years over, and well, I didn't do it, though, so there was no crime. like why would you need to know what the statute of limitations is if there was no crime? For fuck's sake. Like, I may have done it, folks, but it's over the statute of limitations now. I'm scot-free. This is... Oh, God. Yeah, this is, how I would have done it. Levels. This is literally, like, on the level of... If I Did It, Confessions of the Killer... by O.J. fucking Simpson. For fuck's sake. It's honestly incredible that that even exists. Yeah, if I planned it. If I planned it, folks. Then, again, he goes back to all caps. The lead prosecutor for the corrupt Manhattan DA's office worked as a lawyer for crooked Hillary Clinton and her law firm. Left this Democrat firm with others to volunteer to get Donald Trump at the DA's office for free. He quit in a huff when DA Bragg said there was no case here. Then he unethically and illegally wrote and published a book about the case while it was going on. This is unheard of stuff. The case is now completely compromised, and reports are that Mark Pomerantz is in trouble. Which, like, none of what he's talking about here matters. Like, literally none of it matters for the actual substance of the case against him. I absolutely love this voice. I'm glad you guys love my shitty Donald Trump impersonation. Just out, District Attorney Alvin Bragg received in excess of $1 million from radical left enemy of Trump. Again, what... The random capitalization, the third person references, and the constant putting things in quotations is just objectively very funny. George Soros. Bragg is also very close to the Clinton campaign. Republicans and conservatives are more united than they have been in many years. Even Democrats don't like what's going on with the Manhattan DA. This is a continuation of the greatest witch hunt of all time. And I think the Spanish Inquisition would like to have a word, but, this is exactly the same. This isn't Trump saying this stuff. I assume this was Trump on audio. God damn it. Also, he found time in the middle of all of this to attack Ron DeSantis. He initially put up this comment, this tweet, truth rather, and then he brought it down, and people were like, "Oh, maybe Donald Trump realized that he shouldn't be attacking Ron DeSantis at this time." But then he just put it up with a picture added to it. So, this is his attack on Ron DeSantis, which, holy shit, is escalating. Ron DeSanctimonious will probably find out about false accusations and fake stories sometime in the future as he gets older, wiser, and better known. When he's unfairly and illegally attacked by a woman, even classmates that are underage or possibly a man. I'm sure he will want to fight these misfits just like I do. And then, like, just throwing Ron DeSantis under the bus with a screenshot from Midas Touch's, which, by the way, very funny that he has to, like, share a screenshot from Twitter on Truth Social. But a screenshot of Midas Touch on Twitter Exclusive. Ron DeSantis partied with underage girls at drinking party while teaching at a Georgia school. And not only that, they got a fucking picture of Ron DeSantis with several high school girls. All of them clearly drinking. That right there, that's not a Coca-Cola bottle. Okay? Like, holy shit. It is so fucking gross that he just chat on its own as a teacher, right? Going to a high school party is real fucking weird and gross. And already oversteps it already oversteps boundaries. If you're going to a high school party as a teacher, which is already overstepping boundaries, and then getting drunk with the students and taking pictures with them all over you, that is that's fucked up. And chances are he did some real fucking illegal shit. Okay? Yeah, this man who as a teacher got his students drunk and partied with them is all about protecting children. Yeah, I do not fucking believe that for a split second. This man who worked as a torturer at Guantanamo Bay, and one of his victims, who is now free, testified to the effect of having been tortured by Ron DeSantis personally, and to the extent that he vomited in Ron DeSantis's face after a prolonged session of torture. So, yeah, I think that maybe Ron DeSantis is not all that interested in actually protecting children. And then, most recently, if disbarred and fully discredited lawyer Michael Cohen, is not indicted for perjury, then perjury does not exist. And it's just like, holy shit. Just holy shit. Like, he is not okay, chat. And then he just proceeded to, for hours, talk about his polling numbers and retruth his polling numbers, right? Like, you can see here, here's him retweeting or retruthing what are clearly screenshots from Twitter. Like, he just so badly wants to use Twitter. And then oh, here's how I would do against Ron DeSantis in Arizona. Oh. And then, there was no bookkeeping error. There was no crime, in response to himself. And then just retruthing all of this stuff. Like, not only did he feel like he had to say it once, he felt he had to say it multiple times. It's wild. It's fucking wild. Like, Donald Trump, look, I didn't believe that Donald Trump was going to be arrested until I looked at his Truth Social feed, okay? So now that we've established that Donald Trump is very likely going to be arrested, and, Donald Trump probably knows this because, frankly, police have to work with, the Secret Service to, figure out how to coordinate, security for Donald Trump, and also how to, put him in police custody, which is not something that has ever been done before. So, there are a whole lot of things that have to be done. There are a lot of procedures that need to happen. And we don't know exactly when that's going to happen. Some people said it could happen late today, which it doesn't look like that is the case. I would expect this to happen during the day rather than during, the night or very early morning hours. So it's possible that tomorrow Donald Trump could be arrested. I would guess that it would happen during the daytime. However, there are some sources now saying that the arrest is likely to take place sometime between Wednesday and next Monday. So we genuinely do not know. Neptune dude, I did not. Everything else is already fucked. Just give me this one thing. Yeah. Um, so that brings us to like, how is all of this going to work, right? Because Donald Trump is already clearly calling for protests to happen. So what are those protests going to look like? If they happen at all, which I would guess it's going to get nasty in some way, shape, or form. I actually don't think that any protests that happen will be that big, but I do anticipate that if Donald Trump is arrested, we could see some isolated acts of violence, just kind of acts of like random lashing out at perceived like agents of this type of thing, you know? I'm so worried about the possible violence. Yeah, like I wouldn't put it past folks to be like doing like mini Michigan kidnapping plots, or like bomb threats, or like even like individual mass shooting events are not out of the question. I don't think, however, and this has been speculated, I don't think that there's going to be any kind of like civil war over this. Doesn't matter. Violence is not a protest. Tell that to the French Revolution. Um, let's see. And the hogs need their wild moment. Yeah. So I would expect some nastiness. So please keep your eyes open, be vigilant, keep yourselves safe in the coming, week or so. But also hunker down and prepare for some of the funniest shenanigans, okay? I'll tell it here in modern world. Well, sometimes protests are violent. Sometimes the counter protests are violent. Sometimes the police are violent. It's a lot. It's there's a lot of violence on all sides during a protest. Stay home, watch the memes. Yes, let the memes flow like we have entered now the true land of milk and honey. So as of an hour ago, Chris Hayes was actually reporting that Donald Trump may be arrested on Wednesday, or sometime after Wednesday. That the grand jury could make a decision on Wednesday. Again, we'll have to see how tomorrow goes. But I would expect that they want to make the arrest quickly. If arrest is actually what is going to happen, I would hazard a guess that they are not going to want a lot of downtime between passing down that order and actually arresting Donald Trump. So I would hazard the guess that when the grand jury makes their final decision, things are going to move very quickly.